Hey there, guys. So today is ironing day. I am going to iron some fabric. I actually made a skirt to go under a totally different dress with the idea that this skirt would eventually be the foundation skirt for a spring summer outfit. And so I decided today is the day I'm going to make that. So this is the original skirt. It is a cotton, it's a crinkle fabric of some kind. Can you see that? It's got some texture to it. It's really lightweight. It's see-through, really see-through. But it has this beautiful flower embroidery at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to use this other white fabric that I'm ironing. It's actually like a cream. And I am going to make the exact same skirt pattern, and then I'm going to put ruffles or pleats at the bottom of this new skirt, and then place this other white one on top of it, securing it at the waistband. And so it's two skirts in one, so it should be nice and fluffy. And then I make the bodice. And I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out, and I'm excited to share it with you. Hello, my friends. How are you today? So it's been a while. I've put out a couple videos recently, but I really need to get back to vlogging. So I wanted to kind of touch base on a few things that I've done. First off, I bought this beautiful antique Victorian desk, which you've probably seen in one of my videos where I write a letter. I am so tickled by this little treasure. This treasure has enough places for me to put my bits and bobs for writing, because I love writing letters. And I actually haven't written any letters this year so far, other than the one. And I really want to get back to my habit of writing letters. I really enjoy it. The other nice thing about this desk is it's got 4 drawers underneath, and it has its original key. The desk part itself doesn't actually lock anymore. It's I think shrank a little bit in size due to the lack of humidity in the area, and so it doesn't lock on the bottom, but the top does lock, and some of the drawers lock, which is really nice, and the key works to all of them. It was a really nice treasure to find. The other thing I did was I redid my studio. I put shelves up. They go all the way to the ceiling on 2 walls, which has really freed up the floor space. I can vacuum comfortably in here without hitting something, which is really nice. I had originally intended of maybe putting some of my fabric on the shelves, but I chose not to do that because I already have tons of bins of fabric. I know what's in them. I have fabric on shelves that I get to and I use all the time. So even though it would have been a nice decorative additive, I see a lot of studios that have their fabric on bolts and they're on shelves that kind of add to the aesthetic. I need to be able to see all the bits and bobs in all my bins more than I need to see my fabric. So I did that. The other thing I did this year is I made this dress. This is a day dress. In one of my previous vlogs, you'll see a plaid dress that's the exact same pattern. I really love the plaid dress. It's made out of a cotton flannel. I actually had somebody walk up to me at work one day and ooh and ah over my dress, and I will apologize to her right now if she's watching. I am so sorry. You kind of took me off guard, and I was very focused. I have autism, and I was very focused on the task at hand and wasn't really in the mind space to talk about my YouTube channel or my dress. I compartmentalize pretty severely because if I didn't, my masking wouldn't work at work. So I wouldn't be able to focus at work at all if I let other things get in the way. So I compartmentalized pretty severely. But she was very complimentary, and she watches some of my other cause tubing friends on YouTube. And she asked the question, it must be really nice or something to the effect of temperature regulation with wool. And I said, ironically, this one's cotton flannel. And she was like, oh, it is one of my pride and joys. That cotton flannel one, I wasn't really sure if plaid was going to be my thing. I really wasn't. Plaid is a very busy pattern, and I don't wear a lot of patterns. So to branch out and do a plaid gave me the courage to do this pattern one. Now this one is kind of a star blue icy pattern. I liked it because it can be both spring and winter in a dress. It's a lightweight cotton fabric. The sleeves are not lined. It's lightweight because I wanted to be able to wear it in a little bit warmer weather. It is interlined in cotton. I got the buttons secondhand, and so they don't match. There's not enough of them to match, but they're all silver, so I took that. The thing I did differently in this dress is I actually put a waist tape in that followed the seams all the way to the side seam, and then I didn't secure it down in the front. And my rationale for this is I'm going to be making myself a chatelaine belt to wear at work so that I can tuck my phone in the pouch and then have my keys and my key card and a little pair of snips for when I need to snip fabric snares off furniture. I also want to put a clip on there for a dusting cloth because I'm constantly borrowing a dusting cloth off of the housekeeper's carts to wipe something down when I'm inspecting rooms. So I really want a very work-specific chatelaine belt. And I have a couple patterns, but that's a whole nother topic. What I wanted to talk about is this dress. So I made this dress with the idea that I would wear a petticoat underneath that has a little bit more frills, because right now all of my dresses go all the way down and you cannot see my petticoats. That's how they're designed. That's how I made them. But this time I thought it would be really nice I found this beautiful white fabric that has this machine embroidered lace on the bottom, and it's just wide enough that I can get a full skirt panel out of it. And so I made a petticoat with it. Kind of. My thought was, just so you understand the thought process, is that I wanted to make a petticoat that eventually would be the bottom of a skirt that would be it would have a bodice that matched it with the matching fabric and skirt for summer. Because Montana has started to get warmer and warmer in the summer, and I don't do heat well. Give me all the winter weather in the world. I will layer up. I'm okay with that, but don't make it so hot I can't take enough off and get comfortable. And air conditioning makes my sinuses go crazy. So I prefer not to be in air conditioning. I prefer to just have fans going and stay cool as naturally as possible. Anyway, the long and the short of it is I made a petticoat out of this fabric. Well, I made this dress, and then the night before I wore this dress to work, I thought, well, I'll just really quickly make a petticoat. So I cut it all out and sewed it all together, put it on a waistband, tried it on, and it didn't fit at the waist quite the way it was supposed to. But I thought, I'm going to wear it anyway. So I wore it anyway, and I discovered that this train is just a little longer than the green one, and I'm not going to cut it. I refuse to do that. But it also made me think that maybe I could have worn my bum pad, my bum roll, to go with it. So today I've been wearing my bum roll with this dress, and it lifts the train just a smidge, exactly right, so that it doesn't drag as much. And here's Astra. She has pushed open the art room door so that she can come in and listen to me talk. Anyway, so the other day after work, I decided I would take that petticoat and I would make a lining for it, and I did. I cut the exact same panels out of this. It's almost a cream color in comparison to the white. Can you see the color difference in the light? It's just a little bit off. And this is kind of a shirting cotton. It's 100% cotton, just like the fabric that's over it. It's been washed. I made the panels exactly the same size, and instead of sewing them like flat lining, to give it a little bit more fullness, I just sewed them together at the waistband. And so today's plan is to put a modesty placket in the back and sew them together. And then today, I think I am going to work on the bodice for this skirt. I still think that this skirt is going to be amazing underneath this dress. This is a house dress, or it's a very, very, very strongly modified dress from a truly Victorian pattern. So the truly Victorian pattern this dress is modified from is the TV 432, the 1882 tea gown. And the reason I really like this gown is that once I played with the patterning a little bit, it's very nice to modify. I've been able to play with some different sleeve sizes that I like. The sleeve that came with this, I actually made my purple flowered house dress from, and I followed the pattern more precisely, and it's really tight around the arm's eye. The sleeves are really snug. It fits, but it's a little short. Other things, So I modified it, and I made this one from it, and the green plaid one. And I have really, really liked those two dresses. So sometimes you just have to modify, and it fits nicely. Now this bodice right here is the one I modified my winter flannel outfit from last year, and you can go back and look at that in another video. That bodice is the same one I want to use for this white blue lace summer outfit. And instead of this weird foldy-uppy thing, just like I did on my winter one, I'm going to leave it flat to give that princess seamed front look, that flat look, where all the junk is in the back, right? So you have this really nice fitted look in the front. And I think along the bottom, it's going to be really nice to have that lace go all the way around the bottom there. And then I'll make sure that the sleeves have lace at the bottom there. And then I'm contemplating making a collar with the blue lace up at the top. Collars and I have an ongoing argument. Sometimes they work great, and I'm like, yes, there it goes. And then other times, cannot get it to work. So that's kind of the plan for today. But I really wanted to talk about this dress. The other thing I did with this dress is I didn't put buttons all the way down to the bottom. So I have to wear a petticoat with this that has some kind of decorative skirting underneath so that it really looks nice. So the other thing that I want to look at today is some of my scraps in white and see if I can't. I was tentatively going to make ruffles in the lining of this one. Like when I put the lining skirt in, I was maybe going to put ruffles around the bottom. And I decided not to because this is already really flowy. And I love the romanticized view of all kinds of frills and ruffles and stuff, but in reality, I wear my clothing day in and day out. This is not a costumed event. I am making clothing that I wear every day at work in my day-to-day life. I've been wearing more and more over. So I started this journey around 2016 to go more and more historically day-to-day outfit. And I would say in the last 3 years, I've gotten even more, like I got up this morning and I just put my corset on and I put my dress on, and I'm not, it's no longer a novelty. This is just what I do. So I have a couple petticoats that I love, but they're a little short, and they're pleated petticoats, and they're specifically to go up against my skin between me and my bloomer, or between my bloomers and my silk petticoat. Eventually I would like to make a couple really nice decorative silk petticoats, but those are all things down the future. I am not buying any fabric in the next 6 months. That's my goal. I want to use what I have. So I have some white fabric, and I think I have enough to make a really nice, fluffy petticoat, something that's got a little bit more decorative to it. I also have quite a bit of lace that a friend of mine, Angie, gave me, and I'm thinking about maybe doing some insertion lace in a petticoat to give it a little bit of bling. I think it would look nice under this. And I'm contemplating, instead of a traditional petticoat where it's just a skirt, I'm really contemplating the full petticoat so that it's a fitted top with a skirt attached, or even just princess seams where it's the whole thing all the way down. I haven't made up my mind. I'm still kicking it around because this is the creative process for me. I kind of have an idea and I think about it, I draw about it, I look at lots of pictures, and then I cut it out and I put it together and I modify it as I go. Some people that is a little frightening. Some people that is maddening. How can you do that? Oh my God, I'm surprised at your skill. Some of the skill that I've acquired, honestly, is because that's how I think. I think outside of the box. I process and think about it and draw about it and think some more and look at lots of pictures, and then I do something. And I wait for the energy to strike. I try really not to go against the flow, because I find that projects I go against the flow in, or I try to do something that's not inspiring, it has a tendency to linger and malinger and not get done. Okay, so I want to explain what I'm doing here. So I've already copied the front down to a size 8 and the sleeves the largest they go, and I am taking the pieces from the bodice that I used on my Christmas one. So I heavily modified it as I was making it. I did not make an actual accurate pattern. So what I'm doing, because I already know that this has a really interesting placket thing in the back that I don't want on this. So this is the back pattern piece, the original. And I am going to cut this down to the waist, and then I'm going to angle it out, and then I'm going to adjust it when I do the fitting, because I want it to lay kind of, I don't want the, at least I don't think I want the fan in the back, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I will. I don't know, I'm kind of indecisive because I already have a big derriere and part of me is really self-conscious about it, so I don't know if I really want to make it more so. I don't know. I'm in a toss-up, but it did come out really nice in the last one, so I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. So I'm gonna use the rest, I think, of this cream that I lined the skirt in for the main body of the bodice, because I know that the cotton overlay fabric is see-through. So I really want to not wear a see-through outfit. So I'm going to make the lining first and then do a fitting, and I will be back in touch. Okay, it's 4:30 and Astra thinks she's starving because dinner's at 5. What I wanted to show you is I have all of the pieces. I got the pattern done and I fixed my pattern pieces. They're over there on the shelf. So I can make this again if I want to. I used the cream shirting fabric that I made the pattern from as the lining. So now I have gone through and interlined every single piece. All the pieces are interlined. The only thing I haven't done is the placket, the one that goes in the back. And I don't have any more of this trim at the bottom. All I have is the white. So I'm going to go heat up some dinner and feed Astra because she thinks she's starving. Right, Astra? Do you think you're starving? Are you hungry? Do you want dinner? Yeah, I think she wants dinner. So I'm gonna do that. I've been working on this since around 11:30 this morning and it's 4:30. And I've just been plugging along. I take my time. I wanna do it right. And I've been ironing. One of the key things about this fabric, as I've discovered, is you have to iron it like the Bajeminis. Like you can't not iron it or it does weird stuff. So we'll see how it comes out in the end. I think it'll look properly rumpled, the way it, soft and flowy when I wear it. But in the meantime, I'm ironing the Bajeminis out of it because it does not want to behave properly. Okay, I'll be back in a little while. Here. I put boning channels here. And I need a waist tape here. So, work on boning channels and waist tape, but I like this. Pretty. Okay, so now I've fitted it one way. I'm actually going to put it on inside out, sort of. I'm going to pin it right like that. So I get pretty much the same effect as if I had it on right side out, because what I'm measuring is the waist. I want to figure out where the waist tape is going to go. that's for the waist tape. And then I have to figure out where the boning is gonna go in the waist. And then I'll eyeball it for the back panel. And I have to put the sleeves on. And the sleeves are gonna be this beautiful long sleeved to keep me cool in the summertime, but puffy sleeved and no lining in the sleeve. So let me see if I can find the truly Victorian pattern. Hey guys, I thought I would just come on and chat for a few minutes. I have some stuff to iron off, some of my friction pin stuff to iron off on my skirt, and I'm putting buttons on the closure of this skirt, and it's pretty much the home stretch. So I thought I would come on and kind of chat a little bit about this outfit. Couple things. First off, so part of the inspiration of this outfit was the fabric, obviously, because I've already talked about that. The other part of the inspiration for this outfit is Dandy Wellington is doing a cruise in September, October, I think, of this year. And it's a themed cruise for historical costumers or people who live a vintage life, or however you want to call it. It's vintage themed, and I really, really want to go, but I can't go. And not because I don't have the money. I actually could probably come up with the money. That probably wouldn't be the biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle is cruise ships are notoriously moldy, and I have mold toxin illness. The other obstacle is a lot of people crammed into a tiny space that you can't get rid of. You can't get away from them. So one of the inspirations for this outfit is the idea of, if I could go on a cruise, if that were a possibility, what would I make to go on the cruise? And I thought that a white lawn dress, day dress, would be a perfect promenade to walk along and have the sea air. And I have this hat form, this straw hat, that I'm going to decorate to go with this outfit. I probably won't work on the hat right away because hats are not my thing, like not really what I want to make right now. But the other thing is I have quite a few fabrics that I've been kind of collecting over the last year for some nice bodices, and I made a beautiful green skirt last year, and I thought it would be really nice to have a couple outfits that kind of fit that theme of, if I were going to go on a cruise, what would I wear? What would be nice and cool and comfortable in the sun and in the sea breezes? It's such a wonderful idea, and I'm so excited that he's doing this. I think it's a wonderful thing for those of us that pretty much use every excuse in the world to dress up. And the other side of it is, to me, it's just more things I can add to my wardrobe even though I'm not going. So I'm going to link below his link for the cruise if that's something you're interested in. Because I think that if you dress up and you are into cruises, then this is the thing for you. I have contemplated getting some tickets and just running over to England. Yes, just popping right over. I don't even have a current passport, so yeah, that's a thing. That's a whole nother basket of worms. Because I have friends in England. I mean, I have other friends in England that are not costumers that I would love to see, and it's kind of tempting to pop on over and visit with my friends that are both costumers, but also friends that are not into costuming. So anyway, I thought I would just kind of talk a little bit about that as part of my inspiration. I'm just sewing on the buttons. I'm kind of at the tail end of another long day at work. It's been exhausting lately. I mean, I'm just tanked. And I come home and I sew 3 buttons on a skirt. And that's it. That's all I have the energy for. So it's a thing. But now I have buttons to secure my backside. I didn't sew this on the right way, so there's a little bit of a gap, but I always wear a petticoat. I need to thread, I need to run my little sticky tape over everything so that all the threads are cleaned up. I need to iron all the marking off of it because it's all in friction pen on white. So there's purple marks and orange marks and red marks. But this outfit is pretty much done other than the hat, which will be a whole nother video another time. And then I also have, I may or may not put boning in the bodice. I've marked it for boning, but I haven't put boning in it. And I do have to put a waist tape in it. That's probably another evening when I get home from work. And that's all of it. And now we're